morning. Good morning. Good. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The program will be starting in 5 minutes. If you would like to make your way in, the program will be starting in 5 minutes. Good morning and welcome. The program will be starting in a few minutes. Please go ahead and make your way into the room. Thank you.
You're right after Teresa.
So you're basically the MC then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go between everybody.
Okay.
I mean, we thought it would have been different if the mayor was here.
Right.
But,
Of course.
yeah.
That's understandable. Okay, great.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way inside. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way in so we can begin the program. Ladies and gentlemen, there are plenty of available seats. Please find your way to one of them.
Good morning. There are still a few seats up at the front if you're not shy. And we'll get started in just a minute. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Wilson. I'm the Dean of Applied Technology at Pima Community College. And we would like to start by recognizing that today's event is taking place on the ancestral lands of the Tohono O'odham Nation and the Pasquayaqui tribe, whose people have been living and working on this land since time immemorial. Thank you. At this time, I would like to welcome Chair of our Governing Board, Teresa Riel.
I could use my teacher voice, but I'll talk softly with a microphone. Welcome, everybody. It's so nice to see such a great part of our community here celebrating this great day, so just welcome. I have a list of elected officials. I'd like to have them stand and wave so we can acknowledge their participation and help in making this whole day come to fruition. At the very end, if I don't have your name on my list, we'd love to take a moment to recognize you also if you're here and we didn't see you come in. Carla Avalos, Southern Arizona Regional Director for Senator Mark Kelly. Thanks for being here. Troy Kimball, Southern Arizona Manager for Senator Kirsten Sinema. Ken Burbank, the Director of Constituent Engagement for Southern Arizona Office for Governor Katie Hobbs. Ken Burns, Chief Operating Officer for the Arizona Commerce Authority. Rosana Galbaldon, State Senator for District 21. Justine Wadsack, State Senator from District 17. Rachel Jones, State Representative from District 17. Consuelo Hernandez, State Representative, District 21. Steve Christie, Pima County Supervisor, District 4. Elvira Suarez Din, Director of Community Engagement for County Supervisor, Adelita Grijalva. Nicholas McCullough, Special Staff Assistant for County Supervisor, Adelita Grijalva. Laura Conover, Pima County Attorney. Oro Valley Mayor Joe Winfield. And Kevin Dahl, City Council, Ward 3. If I didn't call your name and you're elected official, will you please stand up so we can recognize you? Sir?
Alan Cockburn, Pima County, JTAG.
Welcome. Welcome. Okay, thank you. We also have a bunch of current board members, Dr. Wade McLean, Maria Garcia, Luis Gonzalez, former board member Mark Hanna. Thank you all for being here. The Advanced Manufacturing Building was conceived as a working model of how industry operates. It's a centerpiece where speed, adaptability, and convergence will encourage the community to convene, to learn, to create, and to innovate together. By visually connecting the various pathways, the building also reinforces the interdisciplinary nature of education and industry in the 21st century. We encourage you, when we're done, to walk through the building, interact with the various demonstrations, and talk with our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you so much for being here.
And at this time, I would like to welcome our Chancellor, Lee Lambert.
Well, good morning, everybody. And first of all, I want to say thank you to Greg Wilson and Carmen and the team who oversees our Center of Excellence for Applied Technology for all you've done to bring us to this moment today. So let's give them a hand, please. It takes a lot of individuals and partners to make something like this come to life. So I want to recognize DLR Group. Matt, are you here? Okay, thank you, Matt. DLR is our architect for this project. And also want to recognize Chase Building Team, Leanne Harrison, and the Chase team. Are you here? Thank you for... In fact, I'll say this about DLR. So I took a trip to Colorado with them, and they showed, it was a couple of us who went on that trip, and they showed us a building concept that they had already put into place with the equivalent of our JTAD. And in that building was a gantry crane, but it was only for part of the facility. And I thought to myself, what if we could do that across the entire building? And that's what you're going to see here this morning later on. We did it here. First, I believe, in the country. Yes. So I always like to pose a question, and that is, how do we sustain the health and vitality of our community? And it begins and ends with good jobs. But in order to have those good jobs, We have to have the training and educational pipeline in place that develops the individuals in our great community for those good jobs. And today represents Pima Community College's commitment to be part of that continuum to create the training and skills leading to those good jobs. So I want to just thank all of you for coming and being part of that. So this building exemplifies our Center of Excellence strategy to help strengthen the workforce ecosystem for Pima County and to ensure that your college, your community college, our community college is at the center of making sure we're responsive to the needs of the great opportunities that are here. Our strong workforce relationships and partnerships with business have led to the innovative design that you're seeing today. An example of that is our Fit Lab. In fact, when Caterpillar came to Tucson and they proposed an idea with us, and so we built the Applied Technology Academy with them, but the challenge was we didn't have the space to accommodate the opportunity that was there. But today in this facility, we have the flexible industry training space that will not only accommodate the Caterpillars, but all the employers in this community and future employers who would like to locate here so we can do incumbent worker training. So one of the important things is, the board supported the notion of bringing in a consulting group for us to help understand what the needs are in this community. And if Pima started to align its resources in a way to meet the good jobs that are here, what would that look like? And so that became the early seeds for the Centers of Excellence, and you're in one of the important parts of that. And then once we figured out what we were going to focus on, applied technology, we held an industry summit with over 120 local employers in October of 2017, and we asked them a simple question: did we get it right? I think you know the answer now, right? We did get it right, but out of that industry summit, I think it was Joe Snell that said, focus on speed, adaptability, and convergence. And you heard our board chair make a reference to those themes. And speed, adapt quickly. Convergence, all these disciplines are all coming together. And mechatronics is a great example of that, where you're bringing the computer science, the electronics, and the mechanization pieces all together, and you're going to see that as part of this building this morning. And then adaptability, our ability to continue to adapt as the changing needs in this community evolves, the changing needs of our employers from large to medium to small. We're in a position now to be able to adapt to their needs. But lastly, it's about equity. We need to make sure we leave nobody behind in this community. All people deserve the opportunity to get the training and education they need to get that good job. So we bring all of that together, the speed, the convergence, the adaptability, and equity. And that's reflected here in the Center of Excellence for Applied Technology, and specifically in this Advanced Manufacturing Center. We're going to be building, and we have built, short-term programs called micro pathways. We call them Pima Fast Tracks. These are new on-ramps that give opportunities to all who are interested. Also, along with our long-term programs, our long-term certificates and degrees, those don't go away. It's really about how do we align all of this, and thanks to Senator Wadsack, who has sponsored a bill, we're so much closer now to connecting the non-credit to the credit, so thank you for that. But at the end of the day, all of this is going to lead to family-sustaining wages for this community. And I also want to just say a lot to our JTED partners. Kathy's here, a fellow recipient from the Greater Tucson Leadership the Community Impact Award Woman of the Year, so thank you, Kathy, for your leadership. But all of this, in the end, is going to address the biggest challenge for almost all communities across this country, and that's the ability to attract and retain a skilled workforce. And so that's the commitment Pima Community College is making to each and every one of you in this room. We are here to help skill, reskill, and upskill the Pima residents, the Tucsonans, for the good opportunities that are here. And it all comes down to partnerships and your faith in the direction of this college and the ongoing support of all the employees. We could not do this without the commitment of all of our employees of this institution, our faculty, our staff, and our administrators. So I just want to say thank you all for being here this morning, because this is about all of us, and thank you.
If I could, I just kind of want to touch off a little more on what Lee said, mentioning JTED. There are a lot of behind-the-scenes facts you probably don't know. So Kathy and Patty, Stacy, Amanda, the whole JTED team, they've come to us the last few years with about anywhere from 40 to 60 students that wanted to enroll in our welding program. And we've always had to say no, because we didn't have the space and we didn't have enough faculty members to make that happen. So at the end of this, after the ribbon cutting, Carmen and I are going to give everybody tours if you haven't seen all of the spaces. But if you're familiar with our old crusty spaces, welding is about 3 times as big. We're hiring the new faculty member, and we'll be able to serve the JTED students. So when Lee says it's about all of us coming together, that's what it's about. And before we go to the next speaker, ribbon cuttings are all about thank yous. And everyone so far has mentioned some, but there are just a few folks on the Pima side that I also want to call out. Really just want to thank Brandy Delana and Troy Davis in particular from the facilities team, joining this project after it had already started with the DLR and Chase teams has been fantastic. So Troy, thank you for everything you're doing behind the scenes. Also want to call out Andres Castel de Oro. Andres, are you here? He's in the back. Andres and Pancho, the whole Chase team with Leanne, they've just been fantastic, but Andres in particular, just the amount of time he's here day in and day out, making sure this building gets done right, we really appreciate it. And before we go to the next, also just want to thank Pima folks, our IT team, Dan, David B. For the internal revenue bond and procurement as well. As you do the tour, you'll see that there are a lot of empty spaces. Spring semester ends in a couple of weeks. And this summer, our team is just going to be really focused on moving all of our equipment in and ready to kick off the fall semester in August. So again, college events, Christy, Chris, all of this, thank you. And then the PCC TV team, Phil and Libby, Dan, Dana, Tom, everybody, Glenn. Stuff like this really does involve a lot of us. And so we're proud. I'm going to tell you a quick story. There's Denise. So Ian and the workforce team obviously have been a huge part of all of us working together. Yesterday, Denise hosted a small manufacturing company out of Hollywood. So we gave them a tour, and then we sat out here on the patio. And you could tell they were really feeling the vibe of this place. They were like, this is pretty special. So I just wanted everyone to know that the cool people even think this is cool. And, you always talk about being someone else, but we're good just being Tucson. So. Also want to thank Sarah Smallhouse and the Brown Foundation for all that they have done. Thank you for all that you have done to help us get here. You may or may not know, but they gave us a $2.5 million gift several years ago to help us fill these 4 labs. So thank you. Back in January of 2017, our division, so our faculty and staff, were meeting at the West Campus for All Faculty Day. And at that point, we knew everything was going to start, that we were going to start working with DLR, the bond was going through, and we were going to start constructing. And none of us had really done that before, but there's a team member who does know what that's all about, and I just want everyone to give a very big hand because Carmen Cueva is not only a licensed architect, she's the department head for CAD, she's on the board for Habitat. She is really the one internally on our team that helped us to get to this point. So she's going to share a few words with everyone. Please welcome Carmen Cueva.
All right. Hi, everyone. I work alongside the applied technology division team and our many partners. And as they've mentioned, we started a transformation back in January of 2017 when we were challenged to imagine and define a center of excellence in applied technology. This group of dedicated and generous individuals immediately understood that this was a major opportunity to increase capacity in our community long term. We needed help to do this right. We needed you. Hundreds of you gathered and contributed, and we listened. Today, we celebrate a major milestone in our vision, the completion of the Advanced Manufacturing Building. It's an object, it's a space, it's a structure that personifies a passion and pride for making and fixing, that shifts our public identity from an introverted posture of dark, hidden places to an extroverted one with height and light that brings us into a much larger narrative of human dignity and impact. Mr. Nick Pinchek spoke yesterday, highlighting the context and significance that these careers have on the stability of our families, our national security, our everyday life, and our economy. This building is a significant public asset, unmatched anywhere. And the reality is that no single person could do this alone. No single industry could produce this alone. No single institution could assemble this alone. And Mr. Pinchek made the argument that no other country could sustain a similar shared resource. This is an endeavor that embodies what happens when a diverse set of skills collaborate and find extraordinary strength together. The Center of Excellence in Applied Technology empowers our community today and tomorrow to compete globally, prosper economically, and connect personally. The value of connection has become abundantly clear in the recent few years. Between the pandemic, the supply chain issues, and a mental health crisis, it is evident that we are naturally interdependent and fiercely innovative. We know that physiological needs are the most basic of human needs, as is function in design. We shortchange ourselves when we aim for that low of a target. If necessity is the mother of invention, then delight is transcendental. And we can only get there by having a sense of belonging and usefulness. The greater Tucson community is key to that. Getting to know each other, sharing affinities, working towards common goals like this, and building memories like today matters. It shows up as motivation and is directly tied to actions feeling consequential. This building is a place to generate, cultivate, and nurture our relationships and our connections with each of you. A place to gain skills, strength, and blaze a new path, and evolve what it means to learn, grow, and be fruitful. Our urban fabric is a product of existing conditions and collective values of the past. Looking around, you'll notice that our local building stock is not very high. It didn't need to be at the time it was built. Priorities have changed, and we're trying to solve different problems today than yesterday. Most of us live in a reality that exists primarily on the ground plane. This building is a physical intervention that disrupts business as usual. It pulls us out of our silos and ingrained habits, helps us clear the clutter and make new connections, and ultimately, it inspires us to be intentional with our next steps. At 36 feet above grade, on this third floor, we benefit, perhaps unexpectedly, from a privileged perspective, additional context, and true exhilaration. Our children will now grow up in a world with this lens and use it to navigate a new world. There's a marked transition for many of our instructors from an identity that is defined by an earned industry experience to a new identity as educator. It comes with reflection and a need to reframe what we see is our product of labor. For me, that is no longer a building, and it's not graduates. Students are the medium, and our products are meaningful careers. We emphasize that a career is not a job, but rather a long-term interest that takes many shapes, expands our limits, and satisfies a basic human need to contribute. Their comments, our students, reveal what that really means to them. Because of what I have learned here with you, my kids aren't growing up in my old neighborhood. My wife has a car that she can rely on. I'm not just I keep getting promoted and I see my next steps. I'm actually excited about what I do. I have skills that matter. I can make a real difference in the lives of others. I too am grateful for this opportunity and for so many individuals that made this journey possible and rewarding. Thank you, Lee, the board, the voters, the elected officials, for this investment. Thank you, Dr. Duran Cerda, Dr. Duray, and Steve Grady. I don't know if you're here. Steve. For your confidence and advocacy. Thank you, Brandy, Troy, and Andres, for stepping into a complex project with your sleeves rolled up, ready to work with us side by side, dedicated to its success. Thank you, Matt and DLR Group, for translating a compelling vision into an architectural expression that fundamentally changes the way that we work and inspires a new generation of makers. Thank you, Ed, Swaim Associates, Goodmans, and our advisory members for your technical support and direction. Thank you, and they're probably out there, but Sarah, Devin, Tanisha, Chad, Peter, Nolan, Robin, Gracie, Jay, John, Juan, and all of our instructors for all of your hard work and trust. You are where the rubber meets the road. Thank you to my family, my husband, and my girls. Thank you, Greg, for your magnanimous, I've always wanted to use that word, your magnanimous and unassuming leadership style that makes our division a team. One that works together, is focused on the important stuff, and helps each other out. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the outcomes we celebrate today would not be as pioneering or have such an extensive reach without him. He has a unique ability to connect with people, appreciate what they offer, and respond kindly. It goes a long way. I'm so grateful for every single person here, every single one of you, for all of those that have been here, for all of those that will be here. I want you to know that there's value for you here, no matter where you find yourself in your career or your life. That you, just as you are, add value here. Consider how you might invest in these relationships and how you might transform through engagement. We need you. We need to build local capacity to leave a real legacy. The vision for the Center of Excellence in Applied Technology continues to mature and inspire next steps. We are doing incredible things now. Join us here and be part of reaching the next milestone. Thank you.
Just have a quick question. How many of you have attended a meeting in the Amethyst room next door? The the community room on the first floor? Amethyst room, next to that is the Copper room. If you've been to the new automotive building, we call that conference room the Sapphire room, so obviously the gem and mineral. One other thing that Carmen did was she named this room. This is the Azurite room, A-Z-U-R-I-T-E. And you may wonder, Azurite, what's that? Well, I just want to share a little fact, so when you do come back for a future meeting or you want to rent this space and hold your group here, Azurite is formed by the oxidation of copper ore. It's known for its brilliant blue color. It raises creativity, intellect, wisdom, new perspectives, and it's about creativity. And the ancient Chinese called it the stone of heaven, so it seems appropriate this would be called the Azurite room, so now you know. We talk a lot about our partnerships, and I'd like to introduce one of our partners who has just been fantastic, advocating for Pima Community College and all that we are trying to do here. Howard Stewart from AGM, if you could please come forward. Is Howard not here? Oh. Well, in that case, we are going to move to our other industry partner, who has also been a longstanding supporter of our programs, was present at our aviation ribbon cutting back in October. If everyone could please give a warm welcome to Mark Gaspers from Boeing.
All right, here we are. Good morning. My name is Mark Gaspers, Senior Manager for Government Operations at the Boeing Company. I am so honored to join you today to celebrate the grand opening of Pima's Advanced Manufacturing Building. My gratitude stems from three different perspectives. First, Pima is a critical partner for Boeing's operations in Arizona. Pima students have already demonstrated that they are ready to support our soldiers building the AH-64E Apache Guardian. And even though we have been here for 41 years, we are just getting started. Other opportunities for students include joining our team at our new building, Boeing's Advanced Composite Fabrication Center, part of our factory of the future. Second, on behalf of industry, I am grateful for what this building means for the collaboration with manufacturers. The Arizona Manufacturers Council Made in Arizona tour visited this spot last fall. Our members were impressed and excited to see a facility and a faculty that understands the pace and potential of advanced manufacturing. And finally, as the chair of Workforce Arizona Council, thank you. The Advanced Manufacturing Building recognizes the bright future of our fellow Arizonans and students. Pima Community College continues to be held up as a national innovator. It has done so by recognizing what we can accomplish when we all work together. Chancellor Lambert, Vice Chancellor Rourke, Dean Wilson, Director Cueva, and the entire Pima team, thank you for your partnership and our heartiest congratulations on today.
Thank you, Mark. As I mentioned, ribbon cuttings are all about thank yous, so I wanted to make sure I didn't forget any of these folks. We recently joined Sun Corridor on a trip to DC to meet with some of our elected officials, so I just want to thank Joe Snell and the Sun Corridor team, Susan, for always including us when we're, not always, but when it's appropriate, working with Sun Corridor for those that are coming to, or thinking about coming to Tucson. We'd like to think that this building will have a big say, and what we're doing overall with the Center of Excellence on companies deciding to expand into Tucson. Certainly want to thank Pima County and the city of Tucson for all of the partnerships that we've developed over the years. Also want to call out JobPath and our adult basic ed folks. They're actually going to have space in our offices where, if you're not familiar with JobPath, they help serve our students. And we also do unique things with adult basic ed through iBest, so contextualizing technical programs for students that are earning their GED at the same time. So a lot of cool things. And with that, really with the semester ending, really what's next for us is we'll be focusing on moving our furniture in. So I want to thank Lydia and Melissa and Vanessa from Goodman's, because that's really, really the next focus of what's going to come next for us. When you come back in August, it'll look a little bit different. So at this time, if I'm not mistaken anything, we are going to move to the ribbon cutting. So we're going to move out to the patio. A lot of names for this too: sky deck, patio deck. You can do your selfies with the Titanic moment on the very bow of the ship if you want to. So we'll move out this way.
Testing. Testing.
There, look, right on the spot. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll do the first thing first. Yeah.
Howard said the note to like to sing sorry, just something came up and he just wasn't able to get to us. Oh, has it? No, yeah. I'm doing okay. Of course. You want me? Greg is not here. So, by the way, I got this from, I just showed Ian. Because you guys mentioned that. So that's what I did.
So at this time, I'd like to start calling the first flight of ribbon cutters.
This one. Yeah, you're going to be on this side. Going to be on this side. Yeah.
So Chancellor Lee Lambert, Board Chair Teresa Riel, Maria Garcia, Luis Gonzalez, Wade McLean, me, Provost Dr. Dolores Duran Cerda, Mark Gaspers from Boeing, Sarah Smallhouse, the Brown Foundation is there, Matthew Thrower, Board for Pima Foundation, and with DPR Construction.
Oh, you got one. I got mine right here. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. You guys to squeeze closer together. Jump in there. Greg,
You tell us to cut.
Yeah. Okay, be there. Yeah, come right in, Maria. There you go. Yeah, come up forward a little bit. Yeah, come up forward a little bit. Yeah, come up forward. Come up forward. Come up forward. All right, we're waiting for everyone to get their cameras exactly the way it is. I know you're looking right into the sun, so try not to squint. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, okay? Everybody, let me get out of your way. All right, scissors open. 3, 2, 1, cut. Thank you, Maria. Okay. Who do you have for? Okay. So DR Mark. What kind is last name? Brennan. Facilities. Yeah. No, DLR.
DLR, Matt Bramer.
Yep.
So calling up the next group, Matt with DLR, Leanne Harrison with Chase.
And 2 other Chase people.
With Chase, definitely, I would say Andres and Pancho, please come forward.
Come up.
Brandy Delana with Facilities. Carmen Cueva, our Director of Advanced Manufacturing.
Nina.
Dr. Ian Rourke, Workforce. Nina Corson, our Campus Vice President.
And then 2 other people from Facilities.
Troy Davis.
Yeah, Troy. And yes. Yeah.
Brandy said she was shy.
She doesn't want to cut?
I didn't know I was doing this.
Welcome. Got it. All right, scissors open. And I'll do it just like Phil. 3, 2, 1, cut. So thank you all, everyone, for coming again this morning. Again, if you have not been through the building yet, there's still food over there. Carmen and I are going to give tours. If you want to meet just in this area, we'll break off into different groups and walk you through. We do have robotics demonstrations as well as welding, computer-aided design, and machining. So we can kind of show a little bit about what will happen in the buildings. But thank you all for coming today. We appreciate your support. And this is just step 1.